Welcome back to my channel, Aries. This is a reading for you for the month of April 2022. For the remainder here, I'm just a little late in getting some of my videos out. Apologies, I know I'm not as consistent as some of the other readers, but I just do it as I can. So anyway, just wanted to give you a big thank you again to all those that are my subscribers and those that do stop in, check out the channel. I appreciate your time. So I want to get right into the reading, but I also wanted to make a quick note on a video that I did put up a couple of days ago in regards to a speaker that I found extremely inspirational, and I think you will as well. It was Garen Jones. This is a fellow that I've watched quite a few videos, and I actually am going to do a bit of a part 2 on it as well, that goes in to talk about some of the ways in which we can manifest. And this is a fellow who basically walked the talk. He did actually live in his car for 2.5 years and then became a multimillionaire by reverse engineering a lot of his own behaviors that were working against him. But again, it is a lesson in manifestation, and I think a lot of manifestation is unclear to many because we generally tend to think of it as just positive thinking, and of course everything requires an action to bring it into our world, into our 3D three-dimensional world. So he actually breaks it down for you, takes you through one of his days, as well as gives you a little bit of background. And again, the first video that I put out, I will do a part 2, but I did want to give you just a little bit of an intro on that because it really was something I feel that does help to make clear manifestation, not just in terms of money, because he actually changed his life on a multitude of scales, and that goes for, relationship status as well as personal, taking personal account of his own, uh, confidence levels and how he presented himself to the world, as well as monetarily. So mind, body, spirit is how he connects things. And again, it's just a brief intro, but I will try to add a little bit more of this kind of thing into my videos, as well as the tarot. But I'll just get right into the tarot and I'll give some pointers as I go along. So Rider-Waite deck, and I'm also using another one here too, the Tarot of Curious Creatures, and that one is by Chris Ann, and that's I really like this tarot deck. Actually, it's got lots of whimsical sort of images on the cards. So anyway, just to get right into the reading here, what is happening here for the month of April for Aries? What is going on for career, money, finance, as well as general energies, but primarily career, money, finance for Aries for the month of April 2022. Okay, so the first card out is the Hermit. So it looks like you're very introspective at this time. I don't have a lot of space on this table, but I'll just do my best to bring things forward. But something is going to be transpiring quickly here because of that Eight of Wands. So what is happening for Aries? Sorry, in the month of April 2022. Okay, we've got the Six of Swords, so there may be some kind of, I'm going to clarify all of these, there may be some kind of travel involved, or you're moving away from something. We'll get into that here in a moment. What is happening for Aries in the month of April 2022? Career, money, finance, and general energies. Okay, and the King of Pentacles. And I'll just draw one last one here with the Knight of Cups. So there might be some kind of an emotional offer or something coming through here. It definitely looks like you're moving away from some kind of introspective period, but you're certainly moving into a place where you've got a lot more control. It could be, as I say, an emotional offer or something coming through. But let me just clarify these first. What is the Hermit energy? What is coming through with the Hermit? What is coming through with the Hermit? Please clarify the Hermit for Aries. Okay, it seems like you're contemplating something. Life, money, Eight of Wands. Looks like money is definitely on your mind. Six of Swords. Your happiness, King of Pentacles. Trying to weigh something out, and the Knight of Cups. So what's coming in with the Page of Swords and the Knight of Cups? For Aries, April 2022, Page of Swords, Knight of Cups. Yeah, there's a decision. You're really weighing something out. It seems like you're almost in a little bit of a stymied kind of position here in the month of, might just try to move this back a bit, in the month of April. So again, just in starting out here, actually, I don't know how I can do this here without, all right, well, I'll pull it forward this way. I'll bring these down, and then we'll just keep this closer to the forefront so you can see the card. So that was the Hermit, and again, that was clarified with the Seven of Pentacles. So, and the other cards will just keep down here until I can get through to that. So as I said, it does look as though you're in a contemplative space for this period, for the month of April. I mean, the Hermit is definitely someone who is in a space of trying to weigh the pros and cons of a situation, trying to decide on, and it certainly looks like you're going through some period of confusion here because, again, we've got that Six of Swords energy with the Seven of Cups. So there's definitely you trying, to move ahead from a previous space of maybe a rough period. But either way, it does look like you're in a space of trying to make a decision on something. So again, that Hermit energy is kind of retreating back into yourself here. And there's a lot of cards of just being in your head in some respect. It does look like you're either thinking about things along, you're probably, I would say, because of the level of Pentacles in this, your stability or things along the lines of your health, anything along that line seems to be at the forefront here. It could be relationship oriented only insofar as I would say more of the practicalities of a relationship, because a lot of this is, because I tend to focus more on career, money, finance readings anyway, I'm going to be geared a little bit more on that front. But with the Hermit energy next to the Seven of Pentacles, as I said, I feel like you're just in a space of contemplation here. You're trying to figure out, maybe how you're going to go forward in terms of either investing something or investing in yourself or doing some kind of solitary pursuit. This doesn't look like, a lot of this energy here doesn't look like it is in any way kind of connected to other people. It looks as though it's really sort of a soul journey here in the month of April, that you're really retreating. And I don't feel that you've got a lot of relationship information or status on the mind. And again, if you do, it's because you're contemplating something on a soul level. I don't feel like you're really interacting with somebody on a real strong emotional basis. It seems like you're just stepping away here. It's, in some respect. So again, in terms of your health, I would say that this would still relate around, muscular stiffness, anything along that line with the Hermit energy. And again, I feel like there could be a sense that you're still indecisive about something here. So again, it still feels like there's a little bit of education or new learning or something like that, or something that you're considering doing here that you're just not quite fully decided upon. But I feel like you are going to be feeling a lot more empowered because of this inner focus here. And again, with that Seven of Pentacles energy coming in, I mean, there's definitely something specific that you're considering here that's not random energy. This is something that I would say you've probably been debating for some period of time with that Seven of Pentacles, because it's a gestational energy, it's nurturing, it's growing, it's that kind of thing. So again, this could be something that is in around your workspace. As I said, I mean, you're evaluating something here. So whether this is a project that you're trying to get in motion, move forward in some way, because I don't see a lot of inspirational, regenerative kind of energy that way. It feels like this is more about how do I practically move something forward? And this is again hard work that would be paying off with the Seven of Pentacles, but your major arcana in this reading would be the Hermit. So that again is the primary energy. Everything else is secondary to that. You do have a lot of cards of trying to balance things out with the twos, the eights, the Eight of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles. I do feel like you're trying to get something going or trying to get momentum with something here, but again, it still feels like a little bit of a stuck energy, or not stuck, I wouldn't say, but more along the lines of trying to figure out the most practical way of using your time, the most practical or efficient way of moving something ahead. Again, with that Six of Swords and that Seven of Cups, that it to me indicates that there's some action that you're trying to take. You're trying to move something ahead, but you're still in a contemplative space, not really sure because of the options, that you are in consideration too. So again, I feel like you're just in that place of figuring out either how to cope with something, cope with the situation, or, figure out some kind of solution here anyway. But either way, it's an examination of a relationship, if that's what it is for some of you. As I say, I tend to read more along the lines of finances, career, money, that kind of thing. But I mean, it definitely could speak to just trying to kind of equip yourself in some way mentally, spiritually, and you've kind of detached yourself in some respects so that you can be able to kind of resolve a pressing issue that you're navigating through. Again, you're trying to figure out a way to move ahead here because we do have that Eight of Wands, and then we also have the Eight of Pentacles. So I would say there is probably something that is going to be coming through here in the month with that Eight of Pentacles that's just going to help you get a clearer focus on how you want to proceed. But again, I don't feel that you've made that decision yet. I feel like you're really in a place of debate right now. So again, we've got Eight of Wands and we've got Eight of Pentacles, and that's still energy. I would say still focusing on something new, education, new learning, new job, like apprenticing, anything along that line sort of falls into that aspect of career as well. But this could be a talent or a hobby as well that you're kind of trying to figure out your direction, your next steps, something practical anyway, in the way that you move it ahead. But again, for others, I don't feel like if you're Aries, if you're looking for new work, I don't feel that's really on the horizon in the month of April. It just feels, usually that represents as an ace for me, but it does in this instance feel as though if you are considering a new job or new employment or a new venture on the side, something like that, I mean, that is the space that I'm picking up here. But there is definitely a willingness to learn and to, if you lack experience, I feel like this is the month where you're trying to figure out the practical way of moving ahead and getting that experience. But either way, you're trying to deepen your effort, deepen your bond with something, or make some kind of again, kind of crafts, talents, that kind of thing. But I feel like you're really putting a lot of time and effort into considering how you're going to move this ahead. And again, it feels like it's very monetary for most of you, especially with the King of Pentacles and that Two of Pentacles energy following. That really speaks to, again, a lot of indecisive energy here, but it's still, moving something ahead. Either you're trying to get backing for a new project, or you're getting some support maybe from this King of Pentacles, or you're moving into the space yourself in more of a practical, as I said, kind of movement. But either way, I feel like you're taking pride in whatever it is that you're doing. It does feel like it's some kind of work that is very self-reliant, and it does feel like you're putting in the time and attention to, really master whatever this is. So again, you're still in a space of trying to consider the best route to move it ahead here, but you're definitely, putting a lot of effort into the craft or whatever this is that you're doing here. So again, it's careful management of your finances. It's also, I wouldn't say it's really so much indecisive as it is, again, just trying to figure out the best solution given the options available to you right now. So again, we've got that Six of Swords and that Seven of Cups energy. So again, there's still a lot of very methodical, contemplative space going on here. So again, when we're looking at the Two of Pentacles, I mean, that's, different projects or different sources of income that might be coming through here. Again, you're trying to balance it all out, and that could be in regards to spiritual development, as well as, feeling like your material world needs to be, addressed here as well. But it could also be that there's a lot of, I don't want to say that you are, with that Seven of Cups energy, that you're really in a space of fantasy land, anything like that, because a lot of the energy here is very practical. So again, I don't feel like you are, I just feel like you're trying to be flexible and try to consider all options around you at this time so that you can keep everything moving. There might be some financial challenges here, and that's possibly why that Two of Pentacles is showing up, but there's still an energy of, effectively juggling whatever it is that you're dealing with this month, but also, taking on some kind of new project or craft or some other financial aspect that seems to be quite relevant to, how you're developing something anyway. So on to that King of Pentacles energy. Again, this could be somebody that's coming in here into your world that is making, an appearance either to help you to grow your business or to provide some kind of support. And again, for others, this is actually you making a big difference in your own life, showing up for yourself and actually able to make some strong moves. Because the King of Pentacles is a very mature energy. This is somebody who has a lot of information, a lot of knowledge already in a particular field. And so this is really maybe just making the best use of that. And really setting financial goals, sticking to them, creating budgets and putting things together, really organizing your finances in such a way that it's going to build some security over the long term for you. And again, it still feels like you're nurturing some kind of a project that's going to allow for a steady income over the long term, because there's so much energy around Pentacles here. So whatever this is, it looks like it's going to be a very, very profitable move that you're doing here with the 7, the 8, the King of Pentacles. This is all growing energy. And again, I mean, the 7 and the 8 is putting in that hard work, even though you're slowing it down so that you are making sure to make the right moves as you move forward. And there could also be a sense of potential windfall, I suppose, with that King of Pentacles energy. But again, I take more of the conservative approach on this, and I do feel like this is more along, I'm going to underscore it as more of, there might be some extra money coming in here with that advancement, 7, 8, King of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles. But again, it still feels like even if there is extra money here, that it's somehow being allocated elsewhere because you're trying to put it into a practical space. So again, with that Six of Swords energy, I feel like you're really kind of strategizing there. And then with that Seven of Cups, I feel like you're really just, again, trying to maneuver a way for you to, balance out your options. Okay, so last cards out was the Knight of Cups. So this could be a love offer that's coming in here. And it could also represent, and I should just pull this forward here, the Page of Swords, and it was the clarifier, as well as the Two of Swords. So again, this is information that I would say you have to make some kind of a decision on. So it seems like you're able to grow something or move something ahead here. Still, you're moving. It feels like it's a passionate project or something that you're very emotionally connected to, for some of you, and others, as I say, this is an offer that's coming through that could be, quite successful for you, because the Page of Swords is a really scholarly kind of energy, and I'm still getting a lot of new learning or something along that line. So whatever this is, there's something in regards to learning something new here that is standing at the forefront. But going back to school is kind of the Page of Pentacles for me, and I don't see that as the area that I'm looking at here. But the Page of Swords to me is really about strategizing and really trying to move something ahead here as well, but still in the mind. So I feel this could be dealing with some form of You know, you've got an intellectual curiosity about a particular area, something that really appeals to you, that you're emotionally connected to, and you're trying to figure out the best way forward, again with that Two of Swords. So again, Page of Swords is definitely about communication coming in as well with that Knight of Cups. So there might be some kind of communication coming in, again, whether this is email or phone call or whatever it is, text message. There's something along that line that is going to either, this could be a heart-to-heart talk with somebody as well, but I just feel like you, or even on the work front, you know, having a conversation with a coworker, that might be, there might be some kind of a conflict if it is a coworker situation, but for others of you, this is a decision that is having to be made here. But either way, if it is related around a contract or something along that line, I do feel like, you know, you're being really resourceful and communicating well, doing your research. You know, you're not jumping right in here. This is something about, I feel like things are being straightforward. There's an honesty and a trust, and again, practical energy that's really strong here. I do feel like there is a strong desire to move something ahead here for sure. But again, I feel like that there's a thirst for knowledge and, you know, wanting to, wanting to advance something. But again, I just feel like you're really in a place where you just need to, you want to set realistic goals here. You're not ready to just jump right into the fire. So again, with that Page of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius could be part of the reading here too for some of you. But again, this, if there is some kind of a contract or some kind of a communication, something that's coming in around that, that would indicate to me that you know, maybe you're in debate over whether or not to get into a partnership with somebody who's a King of Pentacles, or if this is something about taking on a project. But either way, I feel like you're just kind of keeping to yourself this month, and you just really need to set those realistic goals, you know, and I feel like you're a really powerful thinker here, strong, you know, strong energy around doing the right thing. And again, that Hermit energy is really the overall emphasis for the read. So I would say that at this time, just to focus on putting things to paper, do your research, take some distance, you know, from yourself and others, just to kind of grow whatever it is that you need to feel confident in before you act on it. But I do feel like you have the answers, or that wisdom, that inner information is going to come forward here for you to be able to activate whatever it is that you need to do here. Either this is increasing your productivity, you know, finding, but there is success and recognition within this reading here. So whatever it is that you do intend to put your time and energy behind, I feel like you're doing a really good job of advancing it forward. And as I said, some of you might be actually, could be teaching something in along that line, could be something that you're having to teach, but most of the energy, I would say, is really about you trying to go to a deeper level of your own psyche here to figure out how to move something forward, just tying up loose ends, that kind of thing. And again, if you are at a bit of a crossroads, again, this is just doing that research and planning is really what's being emphasized. I don't know if I really need to do much more than that, but I just wanted to quickly add one last thing. And again, because the reading pretty much indicates that you're on the right path here, just keep doing what you're doing, because you are finding your solutions in whatever it is that you're trying to go forward with. I just want to pull another card here. Just going to pause the video for just a half a sec. Okay, sorry, I just wanted to pull forward, get my Osho deck here. So this is the Osho Zen Tarot deck, and love these cards too. And it's actually, I'm just going to put it over top here. What is the best advice from the Osho Zen Tarot for Aries in the month of April 2022? In the month of April 2022, 3 cards, best advice. totality. The Creator. And maturity. Feels like there's a real, again, more energy around deep thinking. Very much a contemplative month. And again, fives are all about that change and having to make some kind of a change, maybe to make yourself, feel like you're whole again. Something is, I feel like you're going into the depths of, with the Creator and the maturity card, it feels like you're really in a space of trying to reach your highest potential or deepen something within yourself. I'm going to read the book on this one. I don't use this deck very often. It was a relatively new deck for me at one point. I just deviated away when life got busy. But anyway, so let me just find that here. And I also just want to go into, what I mentioned earlier today to you as well about Garen James. I'll just tell you a little bit more about him too here in just a second. Okay, Aries, so just wanted to give you a rundown. So the card of totality, it looks like these are basically referencing a lot of fire energy. And of course, with the colors here, I think that pretty much depicts that too. But with the card of totality, that again is a card that sort of falls under the suit of fire. So that one is all about, as the book depicts it anyway, this is really talking about those moments in life where you feel like you're being dropped into something slowly, but you're not totally involved. So this is you thinking, calculating, brooding, trying to be clever, a little bit more cunning, but slowly you're slipping out of these moments. And it's just an old habit, and it's really one that is persisting that needs to change. And that's why the card of totality is just being too absorbed in one particular mode, perhaps, is what the card is, the month in itself is really relating to. The next card out is the Creator, and this card is again sort of falls in around fire here as well. But the card of the Creator is still talking about two types of creator. And of course, it goes into poet, painter, and those that deal with working with objects or basically just creating things. So it's also about creating oneself. It doesn't, but what it's really saying here is that you're carrying a masterpiece that's within you and you're standing in your own way. So enable for that masterpiece to be revealed, pretty much have to get out of your own way and just allow it to expand. I think maybe there is a little bit too much analysis paralysis going on, is what the card would reference with the Creator, and you just need to become, rather than see it as something that is outside of yourself. You need to involve yourself with whatever it is that you're creating here. You need to be one with it, because it's a part of yourself that's needing expression. So this is something that's hidden within you that you're either in denial of, or that you're not accessing or tapping into in maybe quite the right way, because you're overanalyzing it. And maybe you're trying to over improve it rather than letting it expand, with its, and allow for this maturity, this level of maturity with whatever it is that you're doing. So again, this is something that has to blossom out of you as the Buddha, but it also speaks to being fully open and like a lotus and its petals and things coming to a completion. So I think it also speaks to you being ready to come out of something here as well, and maybe to come out of this contemplative space, and you're ready to blossom. You're also in a place where, it kind of references autumn and things around fall, so that might be relevant to you as well. But it also speaks to having, little gems, little pearls of knowledge, or little pearls of, wisdom, or something that is still very much within your being. It's eternal, it's there, and this is just a matter of you trying to find a way to access it like spring like flowers in spring is basically, I'm just trying to give you a synopsis of what the book is saying rather than reading it verbatim. But again, I would say that really does tie in with the rest of the reading here too, because a lot of where you are right now seems to be in a very practical headspace, and really the message is just to let it be an extension of yourself and expand. Because whatever this is, it looks like it's at a stage of maturity here and it's ready to blossom. So I just wanted to quickly go in again just to reference that video that I had mentioned with Garen Jones, because it really was an excellent video, and I've watched a few others as well. And again, this is a fellow who walked his talk and did powers of manifestation through reverse engineering his life. So everything that he would do, for example, if he wanted to take the, normally take the elevator, he'd take the stairs. There was a whole kinds of tools and belief systems that he had to change and able to overcome. But basically, he said, if you don't tell yourself who you are, then you're going to have others define who you are. So he felt that we needed to connect to our inner child and be able to create. He says, when you usually felt the most alive, it's when you're feeling, when you were connected to your childlike language. He says, we all know the impact of ABC and sounds and language and words and sentences and things become paragraphs and essays and all of that, and how things expand. But he says, when you're coming from a lack mindset, we have a different kind of struggle, and we limit ourselves with our language and with our words, and we don't express ourselves in the way that we would if we felt like everything was open to us. So that struggle is based on insecurity and, the people that you surround yourself with. And, he said a lot of times we focus on being involved with current trends to the annihilation of the things that need to come out of us. And this might be relevant for you as well, Aries. We don't know that another world exists for us outside of our own current world. So sometimes you have to move yourself into a new space to be able to expand our idea. But he basically said that whatever you connect, with your inner child, when you connect with your inner child or to the things that you used to do as a child, he says you tend to, there's a lot more energy and momentum that helps you to develop something. So something inside of a child, seems to get lost in our world. And most of the talk is because we should do this, or we should go to school to complete this. We should do what our parents have done, and so on. And he feels that we lose our momentum and our energy and our spirit to be able to let things flow. And it is all about that energy. So just as a reminder, kids get their superpowers, as he put it, later in life. He always wanted to be a superhero, and all superheroes have to pay a price as well, but he basically said that, when you leave everything that you liked as a child behind, these are the things that are connected to your inner child. It's directly connected to source, is how he felt. It ran. And again, every day he would set an intention to be able to do something that related around his mind, body, and spirit, and forward that every day, so that by the end of the day, he would be able to make an account of what it is that he had done. And he still felt like he was progressing, because the brain only knows progression. So and there's, when you take responsibility for yourself, that you realize then that you can do anything, because you are in control of, you're in control of your actions. You can't be in control of the surrounding factors, but when you make progress internally, that in itself creates more momentum to be able to get up again, even if you failed at something, but to get right back out there and start again. Anyway, that's just a tidbit. I will put some more information out there on the second video. I just have to compile things together here just so that it flows a little bit better, but hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight, and I hope you do check it out. And again, just Garen Jones. And again, he was somebody that, as I said, walked his talk in regards to manifestation. And I think this is a really powerful month for you to make use of that, because you do seem like you're in a very contemplative space to be able to want to create something along that line. Anyway, that's what I have for you, Aries. Keep moving forward, and we'll see you in the next video.